Hello and welcome to Mars. We are playing Food for Thought update, and if the base looks different a little bit, that's because it is. I have rebuilt the base from scratch because the starting point has changed. You'll no longer have the food, but you have the seeds. The seeds which will eventually grow into plants and whatnot, but that means this guide would have been outdated if I didn't do that. Today we will be building an arch. More to say, which will be going this way, and on top of which we will be stacking solar panels, and in addition we will be building a large battery. Yes, but before that we need to do a quick mining trip just to get a little bit more of the all needed gold and copper. Of course, for your convenience, I'm gonna cut it out, so as you can see we are back with a lot of gold, little copper and some iron. So, to make the whole process a lot faster, we will be smelting those in our furnace. Yes, oh, it's so nice when we don't have to wait for arc furnace forever. Alright, let's take a couple of volatiles. Oh, a little bit more volatiles. I'm thinking around 3 or 4 or 6, I would say. So let's go 4, 6. Right. So, and then we're going to be putting them in, and oxides just to get the furnace going, and then we will be smelting all those wonderful ores so that we can build the battery, the solar panel. And as you know, the recipe has changed. Now the solar panels require some steel. So that's why I didn't go and start immediately with building the solar panels, because the steel would be much more important, so I decided to just go and build both the solar panels and the big battery in one go. So we're tackling, you know, the power generation and whatnot problem. Alright, so the furnace, as you can see, is smelting quite quickly, which is very nice. And we'll need a lot of gold, not per se for the solar panels, but for the logic chips that we will be probably doing in the next episode though. So next episode will probably be full dual axis solar tracking, so do keep an eye out for that, and if you don't want to miss it, I suggest that you subscribe and click that notification bell so you get notified when that episode will air out. Anyway, once we are done with all the smelting, we shall be going and placing the extra iron that we have in the locker, just in case we need it, as well as some coal, because coal we will initially use for generating power if the solar panels are not set up or we get into the power crisis. I always like to keep a little bit of coal just for, you know, reserve parts. Anyway, we have fed all of our ingots inside, so now I'm gonna make preparations to make that bridge, which means I will be making first the portable light, because this light is actually going on my nerves. You can have very limited field of view, and the portable light is also one of those quality of life additions that you put a battery in it, and then it illuminates the area around you, so it looks much nicer. Just in case, and you don't need to change the battery on your suit, which is also highly recommended that you know, it's for your battery consumption. So, portable light, I go pick it up, and then I'm gonna be placing, I don't have the big batteries yet here, so I'm gonna be, oh, it topped over. Well, whatever. Anyway, let's take in the battery, stick it in, turn it on, and look at that. It illuminates everything. Isn't it wonderful? I certainly think so. So I'm gonna put it on my back. See how nicely it illuminates. And now I can go and turn off the light on my helmet. See? I think that's much nicer, especially for also recording stuff. You get a little bit more, you know, ambience. So, without that thing being said, I'm gonna be making the battery large kit, which we will be using to power our base. And I think for the starters, one large battery should be plenty. But in the future, you want to have like 4, 5, 6 batteries, you know, nicely put together. So it's a thing. However, for the very starters, it will be fine. I'm gonna just place it here until I crank up and build the bridge that I was talking about. And for that, I'll need two things, namely, I will need the steel frames, steel sheets, and cable coil, but heavy cable. So I'm gonna get to printing those at the moment. And of course, I'm just gonna show you one part of it, because really there wouldn't be an episode if you had to sit and watch me 10 minutes churning out cables. That would be like really, you know, piss poor content on my part. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take, see, this coal, and since our battery is almost dying, I'm gonna shove that into our solid generator. Thank you very much. And then I will be producing now first the steel frames, and then the steel sheets, and then the heavy cable. There we go. So as I said, I will be cranking a lot of them, so I'm actually just gonna skip to the part when those have been produced in sufficient quantities that we can actually start building the bridge and building the cabling towards the solar panels. So, alright, let's quickly skip to that part. Now, okay, as you can tell, I have 12 steel frames, and also I've built some ladders because I don't want to be using jetpack every time I need to get there. I'm gonna make it 2 tiles wide. So, because solar panels tend to occupy quite a lot of space, and you need some extra space if you want to go around. So that's why I'm building it. I'm thinking this will also be a nice, you know, ceiling for this building area. So in the future I can cram, you know, lights on the bottom of these frames so that they will illuminate this area nicely. All right, there we go. And maybe one more. Oh, okay, I fell into the hole. Okay. Jetpack, there we go, and I might want to add some flooring there. Completely forgot about it. What can you do? It happens. Alright, there we go. Perfect. So now it's just churning out some solar panels, but I also need some steel frames. Alright, so we'll place these steel frames here at the bottom to extend our platform by a little bit, because we need space to be able to go behind these machines and whatnot, and these containers. And on top of that we need enough room to place the... Okay, let's clear the steel frames, and now we need a little bit more steel sheets. Okay, I think it's time that we start welding the steel frames above. And I can do that while these steel sheets are being produced, I guess. Alright, that's enough. So now let's go on to the welding part. Where's my welder? There we go, welding torch, perfect. Turn it on and let's start welding. Okay, stand on top of it. And I'm gonna weld all of these steel frames. I also may skip to the part where all of them are welded. Okay, welding these last 2 frames, and now it's time that we start placing the ladder. And the ladder I'm gonna place on these frames, so it's actually quite nice and easy to get up. Okay, I don't need the ladder platform yet. I will need it, and I will be using it. However, let's just put the ladder as is on that steel frame. Come on. I think this is wrong orientation. Okay, like this. Yes. There you go, 1 down. Okay, and now we need the ladder platform on top together with ladder end. Ladder end is important because it allows you to go down. Without it you cannot go down, you'll just fall down otherwise. So ladder end, should it be like this? I'm actually not sure. I think I have it backwards. Then again, maybe not. Alright, so this is what it is, and that's how I thought that this should be set up. And now on top of it we will be placing solar panels, and I'm actually gonna put the cabling from that initial place of the... I'm gonna build one more frame here instead of this top solar panel that's here, and I'm gonna pull all the cabling 1 story up and then onwards to the bridge. So let's dismantle this one first. Now specifically I want to remove this cabling over here on this side, because this will be a changed input. So instead of the solid generator, it will be going from the large battery, which we will be placing instead of this solid generator. So let's deconstruct it. Perfect. And I'm gonna temporarily dump it into that locker. There we go. and I'm going to be placing the large battery in its stead. I think it's very convenient place to place the batteries here, and then we can just build further to the right. So something like this. One forward, no. One to the left, no. Okay, like this. Good. I'm happy with that placement. Now we just have to draw the power cable from the large battery to the power controller, which is sitting behind this, behind the arc furnace. I mean, arc furnace is going to get moved eventually. It's just a temporary position, so I don't save a little bit on the cabling. Like I said, the whole point of this guide is you design small, then you iterate, but you do plan for it to get bigger. So that's kind of important. And I will be also connecting the data ports because we will be reading later on data from these batteries anyway. And now let's connect this area like this. And from here the cable will be going upwards via the frame and onwards to the bridge. So that's why I need to build one frame on top of it, so it's a little bit nicer. All right. There we go, steel frame. Now I have to weld it. All right. Then we weld it, and then we will be drawing the cable upwards. Very important that we are using the heavy cable, because right now, well, we have the single solar panel, it's not that big of a deal. But remember, we are planning to be bigger, so we're planning to put like, I don't know, 10, 20 solar panels on, and maybe even some upright wind turbines if the storm hits. So that means there will be a lot of current going through these, you know, cables, which means they have to be a little bit hardened. Okay, and I just ran out of power, I've noticed, so I'm gonna swap the battery on this bad boy. There we go. Oh, and much better. And I should probably turn on the charger so that this one gets charged as well. All right, so right now the battery is dead, of course, because it has no input. Nobody is feeding the power to it, which means we will be needing to create the solar panels. And I'm just thinking I should probably think about my water is critical, so let me just quickly refill on the water. Water should be probably next on our list of priorities, because the food was initially my priority, but now that the food, we have seeds and we have canned soup, so we have a couple of corn, so that buys us some time. The situation is much more critical with water. So once you're dealt with this, and before you do hydroponics, we should probably take a look at fixing the water supply. And we have to have a water tank for that. Okay, let's build some more steel sheets. I'll probably gonna need one more steel frame, because I plan to place the solid power generator so that we can fill up the battery. Remember, we still have 23 coal in the locker behind us, and I don't want that our battery here runs out of power, because it wouldn't be too nice now. Okay, so I'm just gonna walk past it and place the solar generator here-ish. There we go. And I think it would be the perfect place to put it. So, and then besides, oh, I cannot merge it into, I think this will actually work quite well. So now I just want to be placing this steel frame here so that I can bypass it. Okay, let's weld it. I will widen the base, of course, but I'll probably do it off camera. I don't think that you watching me weld like 20 steel frames is really my definition of compelling entertainment, so yeah. All right, so let's just connect the heavy cable coil directly. See, this setup is efficient. We are all about efficiency, people. Right, now give me the, you know, like this. Perfect. That's exactly what I had in mind. Alright, so now the battery can be turned on, and we should be shoving that nice chunk of coal right up this shaft. Okay, that just sounds dirty. Anyway, now the power is being generated, the battery is being filled, which will solve our power problems temporarily until we can build a proper solar panel on top. Right. That being said, I think we should get to that. Yes, power, let's just continue building the cable. There we go. hit it. 1, 2, 3. Turn it to the left. All right, and I can actually stand here, turn the cable, and the cable will be going this way. Also, one benefit of this bridge is that on one of its sides I will be placing the logic chips that will be controlling these panels, so this will be a very, very efficient setup. I will have everything I need for controlling the solar panels and power generation on this bridge. I'm gonna go with the dual solar panel with the power facing this side, because I have later on I will be posting a guide on, regardless of the orientation, how you want to be setting up your dual axis solar tracking. So yeah. Alright, so that's this solar panel set up. I'm thinking maybe here on the first I could be placing an additional basic solar panel, and I might actually produce one more solar panel just for good measure, because I think a single solar panel, it will do its job, but it will not do it very well. So let me just first exchange my suit battery so that my inner voice stops complaining. Let's go inside, because I think all of my glass panels are inside. And then once we have one filled big battery, then I'm gonna be starting the pressurization, because these actually draw power, and I still haven't connected it apparently, but that's another story. Okay, so there we go, and let's go and connect. So now I'm going to be placing basic solar panel here, oriented towards this side. There we go, build it. I mean, we get it for free, so it would be really stupid of us not to use it right now. So now let's connect it. There we go, perfect. Nicely aligned, and we've spliced the cable correctly, so now let's place the glass sheet on top of it. There we go, beautiful. And now we have two solar panels that will be producing some power, which will be very important so that we passively start getting power until that point where we are able to make a full dual axis solar tracking, in which case it will be very, very convenient and easy. So I'm gonna just tilt this solar panel down a bit, and I'm gonna rotate it so it's facing the sunrise. Okay, like this, and oh, wrong side. There we go. Beautiful. I think that works. Nice. All right, tilt it a little bit more down so that it gets hit by the morning sun when it comes up. And I'm thinking, you know what, maybe I should be building one more just for, you know, good measure. Because the small solar panel produces, I don't know, around, I don't know how much, but I think up to 150, and this one can actually make a lot more. So I actually need more steel and copper. I think I have them in the auto lathe, so I'm just gonna quickly take it out of auto lathe and produce one more solar panel, I think. All right, that one's done. We can actually add a little bit, few more of the heavy cable coils, because we're gonna need them in order to connect it properly. And while they're being manufactured, let's go and quickly let's place the solar panel. Same orientation, thank you very much. Let's take on the power cable, straight, yes please. And now let's take a few more of these heavy cable coils, and then we will be able to connect it. So I think 4 of them should suffice, maybe, I don't know. Let's try it out. Barely. Okay, come on. Perfect. And 2 more. Yeah, it will actually suffice. Great, which means the rest of the cables will be used for posterity. Wonderful. Alright, I'm actually pretty satisfied where that went. I think I just need to build the solar panel because it's still in the construction mode, so I need to place the glass sheet. I'm just going to connect these two further. to prepare for the third one, and I'm gonna place glass sheet on top of the solar panel, and we'll actually call it a day, I think. I think this is as pretty as good place as any to cut today's episode. So guys, you know what to do. As always, make sure if you like the episode that you like it, helps me out a great deal. And if you want to see more of these guides when they come up, they're best enjoyed when they're fresh. So click the subscribe button and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. But until then, thank you very much for watching. This is GrunfWorks signing up.